My boyfriend's intense relationship with his childhood teddy bear is making me uncomfortable. Am I overreacting, or should I be worried? Original post. Okay, now please, no joke, this is actually serious. Also, this is a throwaway account, and I was an idiot when writing my name and typed throwaway instead of Thora. I have been with my boyfriend for 3 months now, so it's pretty new. So far, everything is going well, except this tiny little detail. He has this teddy bear. Let's name him Barnaby. Barnaby has always been a part of my boyfriend's life. He got him for his birth. When he was around the age of 5 or 6, or whatever age is appropriate to remove a teddy bear from a child, his parents tried taking Barnaby away from him. He screamed and cried so loud, without stopping, that they ended up giving up. So, he kept Barnaby with him his whole life. He mentioned Barnaby to me pretty early, about a week after we started being together. He showed me pictures of him, and I found it cute at first. He had plenty of pictures of him in different situations. Him with a mug, him laying in bed, him studying. I truly found it adorable, since I thought it was just a joke, really, and didn't think that Barnaby was such a big part of his life. The more we got to know each other, the more he started mentioning him. He'd often make jokes about him. When he had to come back to his flat, he'd say, "I have to come back. Barnaby is waiting for me." And then later, he'd text me, "Okay, I put Barnaby to bed, so now I might go to sleep as well. I don't want to wake him up again." A little weird, but cute still. But he really started talking about him constantly, always linking what we were doing to him. Oh, I wish Barnaby was with us to see that. Barnaby doesn't really like people, so I won't take him with me for this party, etc. He'd send me selfies with him at least twice a week. He also sometimes said weird stuff. Like, whenever we watched a sex scene in a movie, he'd say, "That's what me and Barnaby do when we're alone." Or when I asked when he lost his virginity, he answered, "Oh, I lost it with Barnaby a few years ago." They were jokes that made me uncomfortable. He always seems to consider him as a baby, his son, his brother, so him being sexualized was extremely weird for me. I told him then that it was weird, and he just laughed. But I don't think he took me seriously. About a month ago, I told him I was okay with him bringing Barnaby when he was staying around my flat. I could see it was making him sad to leave him, and I was also very curious to finally see him in person. I can't go to my boyfriend's flat. There are strict rules, and he can't invite anyone. So that day, I drove to his flat, and he came with all his stuff and Barnaby. When he got in the car, he pulled him out from his bag and had him give me a kiss on the cheek. When we drove, he opened the window and put Barnaby out of the car a bit, like a dog would. He said it was rare for Barnaby to travel like that, and he could feel that he was happy. Barnaby smells a lot. My boyfriend hasn't washed him in 12 years. For the rest of the car drive, he hugged him and gave him kisses. He has a weird twitch where he just compulsively pats the back of Barnaby. It makes a weird sound because Barnaby used to be able to play music when you pressed his belly. He always rubs Barnaby's clothes in between his fingers. You can guess that Barnaby is in a pretty bad state. He used to be red and now he's just gray. When we're together in bed, he always puts Barnaby's mouth on my mouth, and I always avoid it, as I find it disgusting. I told him that I hate it, but he doesn't listen. He always tries to have Barnaby touch my boobs or my ass. When we make love, I often end up finding him in between us, and every time I throw him away, my boyfriend says, "Oh no." He likes to watch, in a joking way. He often mentions us having a threesome with Barnaby, him saying Barnaby is great at licking and that they always do kinky stuff together. Now, I'm not an idiot. I know communication is important. I tried talking to him so many times, sometimes in a joking way too, so he wouldn't feel attacked. Like once, I asked who he would choose if he had to choose between me and Barnaby. He said Barnaby, but I also tried many times in a serious way. I told him I didn't like when he was rubbing Barnaby on my face and body. I told him I found his relationship with him way too intense and weird. But every time, he didn't take it seriously, made jokes, and never truly told me what he thought. I should mention that he is like that for any serious conversation. All he does is make awkward jokes, and he never tells me how he feels. He said, "I love you" first because he was drunk. This is becoming hard to handle. I have been away from him for 2 weeks, and was kind of relieved I wouldn't see Barnaby anymore. But all he did was send pictures, and whenever I asked him, "What are you doing?" or "What did you do today?" his answer was, "Playing with Barnaby." Today, he told me I was perfect, which was a first, and I sure didn't expect that. He doesn't give a lot of compliments. When he said that, I said, "Really?" And his reply was, "Actually, no. Barnaby is perfect. You come way after him." I just gave up and didn't reply. I have 3 questions. 1. Am I overreacting? Am I the one not being tolerant enough? Am I some boring girlfriend who can't welcome some childishness in her couple? 2. What should I do? Should I let him live his life with Barnaby? Should I ask him to make a real choice? Should I ask him to just stop the sexual jokes? Like, who am I to ask such things? I don't know. Is it my place to tell him to stop being so weird with his teddy bear? And 3. How do I get him to finally talk to me and take me seriously? TLDR, my boyfriend has a weird relationship with his teddy bear. He considers him a baby, a son, but still makes very sexual jokes about him, often involving me by having him touch my body, and it's making me uncomfortable. What can I do? Update. I did not expect to get that many replies. I woke up to a crazy amount of messages, so thank you all so much. Now, you all really scared me. As F, I need to see him today, so I will tell you how it went. I'm not sure what to do yet, but I'll definitely have a serious talk with him. I'll try, and then depending on his answer, I'll either give him a chance or say goodbye. Top comments. Shipper_man 5674. How on earth am I still single? POTUS. Cause you don't have a kick-ass wingman like Barnaby who's willing to do 3 ways and S. 4 or _amore. I bet Barnaby looks radiant under a strong black light. View_________. Seriously, what the F? I've been married for a couple years, and as an average-looking woman, I ran into my fair share of weird dudes while dating. But what if I had told my girlfriends even a light version of this dude's behavior? They would be holding an intervention for me to get away from him ASAP. Even if this was only a strange, immature coping mechanism, it's still not acceptable. The fact that he has strongly implied that he uses Barnaby as a masturbation aid? What? I love my husband, but if he started carting around a pocket pea and made me kiss it, touch it without my consent. If women like Opie exist who are willing to put up with shit like this, barring you being some kind of Ted Bundy weirdo, I also have no idea why you're single. Golden_mummy, Barnaby Bundy. Abortion_Zanya. So, I'm pretty sure I used to be friends with this dude on Facebook and ended up blocking him. He had several profiles, one for Barnaby, and would harass the hell out of women, then blame it on Barnaby. He told one of my friends he hopes she gets raped, and then blamed it on Barnaby and tried to re-add her on a different account. He has a graphic novel or something he's working on about him and Barnaby, and he makes the girls who block him or get upset with him the villains they defeat. If it's the same dude, he's out of his fing mind and you need to run. Edit. I didn't want to unblock the guy's profiles because I have to wait 48 hours to block him again and he scares me. But I found one of his many profiles that seems to be abandoned. He uses an alias, so I don't know if OP would recognize the name. However, his profile is full of photos of the creepy old bear, so maybe she'll recognize the bear? This is Barnaby? I certainly hope there's not 2 of these creepazoids running around. This particular dude has a crime scene photo of a dead rape victim laying face down in a field as his cover photo. So if it's the same dude, she needs to bail, change her phone number, and move. Edit 2. Thanks, got the gold and silver. The thread is locked now, so I can't reply to anyone, but OP confirmed this is not Barnaby. Update. First of all, I'd like to say thank you to you all. I did not expect to get that many comments. I'm safe, for those who are worried. You all really scared me though. I had many questions that were asked, so I'm quickly going to reply to the ones I saw the most often. Why are you with this guy? Are you insecure? Why are your standards so low? Etc. I obviously didn't write down his nicest description. Apart from this weird teddy bear fetish, he was a completely normal guy with friends, going to parties, studying, and so on. He's quite the popular guy. In fact, even though I don't care about this kind of thing, he took me on dates and made me feel special. I really thought he was a keeper at the beginning. Him being a little childish didn't bother me. I myself have stuffed pets, and even though they're in the cupboard, I used to love them as a kid. It's when he started sexualizing his bear and involving me in it that I freaked out. The problem is, it's so hard to tell when he's joking or not. He constantly makes jokes. That's why I never could tell whether I was overreacting or not. Is he just joking, or does he mean what he says? However, the one thing I really didn't see coming, and you guys helped me realize it, is his lack of respect towards me and my boundaries. Sometimes it's easier to see from an external point of view. This whole time, I was too focused wondering whether it was normal or not for me to feel uncomfortable, and I didn't realize that not once did he help me feel more comfortable, despite me telling him how I felt. Thank you a lot, because that's the one thing you all really helped me with. I would have probably taken more time to realize it on my own, even though it now looks obvious. About the guy who said he knew him, abortion_Zanya. Unfortunately, it wasn't him. Thank you so much for your help though. Run away. He's going to kill you. He's a psychopath, etc. Although his behavior is extremely weird, I don't see him hurting anyone. But obviously, it's easier for me to tell since you all had to base your opinion on what I said. He doesn't match the psychopath personality at all. I'm not allowed to visit him because he lives in a private home. A person hosts him in one of their bedrooms, and this person doesn't allow any visits. It is weirdly strict, yes, but it's believable, and I've seen his sister once, who confirmed she couldn't visit him herself. One thing is sure though, although he may not hurt anyone, he seems to have serious problems, and I'm not sure I can handle it. It's fake. It looks like the movie Ted. I know it all looks surreal, but it is true. I have multiple pictures of Barnaby if some of you are interested. I know a lot about Barnaby's past because my boyfriend won't shut up about him. That's why I know. I know the movie Ted, but I have never seen it, and my boyfriend actually suggested that we could watch it like a month ago. Burn Barnaby. Make him disappear. Etc. Haha, thank you. I did think about it a lot. I often hide him when he brings him in my flat, so I know exactly where he is, and so my boyfriend doesn't think about him. He always ends up looking for him though, but still, it gives me a break. What did you do in the end? I was meant to see him today, so I picked him up and we drove to my flat. Of course, Barnaby was there, and when he came in the car, my boyfriend had him give me kisses and stuff. I said, "Stop, please," in a cold way, and he stopped. I said we needed to talk, and he listened because I started crying. I thought it would be hard for me to start talking, but since I was so stressed with all your comments, I just broke down and cried. I told him how I needed him to stop with Barnaby, that he needed to stop being so close and dependent on him, that Barnaby shouldn't come to my flat anymore. At first, he was silent, but then he said he didn't understand why I was so uncomfortable with it, that he was purely joking, that he knew Barnaby wasn't real, and that it was hurting him to see that I thought he had a problem. I was extremely disappointed by his reaction and just told him I needed a break. I drove him back to his flat, and that's where I am now. Edit. Everyone is saying the post is deleted, and I have no idea why. It wasn't deleted before. The original post is available in the comments. It's quite easy to find. Thank you to you all for your support. I realized there was a confusion. No, I'm not in his flat. I'm home and safe. Tonight, I'll sleep at a friend's so she and I can talk about it, and I'm never going back with him. He sent me terrible messages all night, which convinced me to never get back with him. Thank you again for helping me, and have a nice day. Ask. I'll send a picture of Barnaby for those who want one in a bit, but I have to get ready for school first. Don't worry, the face of my boyfriend won't be shown. Top comments. Ursula_Vern. It was hurting him to see that I thought he had a problem. Even if he was joking sometimes, he most certainly does still have a problem given all the stuff he was doing. He's trying to normalize his behavior. It isn't normal. He needs therapy. I'm glad to see you're taking a break and that you're all right. OP. Thanks for the update. Pretty__ing. Seriously? This dude had an ex-girlfriend who didn't like Barnaby, and it was implied this was one of the reasons they were no longer together. Brought Barnaby everywhere. Repeatedly forced sexual interactions with Barnaby on the OP. WTF? Wouldn't wash or in any way maintain Barnaby in a sanitary condition. When OP vocalized her discomfort, would joke it away and continue the behavior, and is so sad that OP thinks he has a problem? What the F? He clearly has at least one problem. Depending on how much we believe he believes Barnaby is real determines what problem that might be, but there's at least one in every possible interpretation of this scenario. ETA, the more I think about this, the more I think him truly believing Barnaby is real in some sense is actually the less disturbing problem. Thank you for watching. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do so and hit the notification bell to stay updated with more shocking real-life stories happening around you.